let's get right to it.
That's right. Mushrooms are so much more than just food. It actually turns out that what some of these fungi eat can actually help eliminate plastic trash.
Big news. Scientists have identified fungi that can break down long-lived plastics, including plastic bags, styrofoam, synthetic fibers, and some of the fungi may even be able to remove heavy metals from soil and water.
Yes.
Fungi? Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There is a faster way to use mushrooms to help the environment. There is a company using them to make everything from vegan meat substitutes to leather, even building blocks.
This is great. Evan Baer, co-founder of Ecovative, is with us to talk with us about some of these products that we're making. Evan, thank you so much for being with us. We really appreciate it. I guess get into the science of it all. First off, how do you discover the list that you could use mushrooms for?
Well, we've been playing with mushrooms for a long time, so we got kind of good. And
Nice.
fundamentally, we're domesticating a new crop. Humans haven't done this in like 1,000 years, 10,000 years for like corn or animals. And we go into the forest and we take mushrooms off trees. We take little biopsies. We take them back to the lab, and we found a way to grow them in really long sheets that can be sliced up for leather or for delicious bacon.
Okay, so you're telling me that these are just regular basic mushrooms, the one that pop up in our yard or you set on a tree. There's no specific mushroom that you use or is better than other mushrooms?
But there are some really they're like the Pokemon of the woods, right? There's some really good ones out there that like humans kind of passed by as we were racing into the cities to evolve. So we use the oyster mushroom, which is like this really delightful gourmet mushroom you'd see like growing on maple trees in a New England forest, for instance. That's what we use in my bacon. It's got a very meaty texture. If you slice it, you get a really meaty texture. And for leather, we use a mushroom that's known throughout history to be very leathery. It's the Ganoderma mushroom, and we grow that kind of leathery tissue. So you can really see the properties in nature and then find a way to express them at scale. And that's the kind of domestication part of what we do.
I love that they're slicing it just like at the deli.
I know.
To get those pieces.
I'm sure you had to explore with a lot of different kinds of mushrooms to kind of figure out which ones you really wanted to harvest in a way. And then, talk to us about the science of how you grow them and how you harvest them yourselves.
So the really powerful thing that we're doing at Ecovative is we're actually upgrading existing farms. So you may not realize this, but there's billions and billions of pounds of mushrooms grown every year. It's the same mushroom. It's a monocrop, the one you see at the supermarket, the little white mushroom. And the big mushroom you see is just an older white mushroom, right? It's all the same mushroom. We're basically selling new seeds to those farmers. They grow in these big vertical indoor farms. They used to be caves. Now they're warehouses, these beds that are like 100 feet long and 4 feet wide. And we're selling them new seeds they can grow in these vertical farms. And they put wood chips in, they plant the seed, and 10 days later, you're harvesting, what looks like a whole cut of meat.
And by the way, one of my favorite is mushroom jerky. I love mushroom jerky. It's really, really good and flavorful and easy to eat.
Well, they're using it for there's mushroom coffee now. I mean, mushrooms are out there.
Mushrooms for shoes, mushrooms for purses. So how in the heck, I get the mushroom jerky. I can kind of, how do you turn mushrooms into actual products like these are made out of mushrooms that we're holding?
They absolutely are. And it's pure mycelium. It's like that's the number one ingredient. It's a whole cut, just like an animal hide. So when we grow it in these sheets, rather than cutting it lengthwise to get a piece of bacon, like you're, running a pork belly down a meat slicer, we cut an entire 100-foot long sheet off, and that becomes basically a mushroom hide instead of a cow hide. And we work with a tanner, in this case, Echo. They put it right in their same tannery equipment, their same drums, and they produce a leather-like hide. And that shoe is made the same way they make regular shoes, which is the exciting part because all of this can really scale into our world. And that's how you have impact and people get to wear the stuff too.
I mean, it feels good. It looks good. I'd have absolutely no idea that any of this is mushrooms.
How's the durability, the longevity of it?
This is really, really important. And one of the reasons we're showing you a shoe is because we have the highest durability alternative leather out there. Still work to do. But the whole nature of mycelium, this idea that we grow it whole cloth, just like an animal hide forms, is the key to providing that durability, the key to providing that quality and the sort of the look and feel you get. It's not like mushed together or extruded or glued together. It's just a whole grown product like a tree.
And then, sorry, to expand on that, like I'm just thinking of the trash product when you're done with it and you're getting rid of it. Is it much more easily biodegradable than, say, other material?
Or something?
Yeah, so everything we grow is pure mycelium, just like, any biological product, like a squirrel or you or a tree. So it's all home compostable. You could put it in your yard. You can put it in the ocean. Cradle to cradle gold. Yeah. And so, when you make leather, people may put coatings on it.
Sure.
So like, depending on what brand you buy, there might be a coating on it, but we have brands launching with like purely compostable versions too. And I think that's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
All right, talk a little bit about the packaging of these products and the mushroom component of that.
Yeah. Well, a long time ago, we started really on a quest to eliminate styrofoam, and we've grown up. Our core focus is really around higher performance foams for apparel, high performance bacon and premium meats. But we started growing packaging, and it's still grown worldwide. And we take, in this case, kind of like corn stove or other ag waste. We put it in a mold, like if you were molding like a cake, maybe in the shape of a packaging part, and we put some mycelium seeds in that. And over 5 days, it'll grow and grow through it, and actually bind it all together and make a really strong, beautiful thing that kind of looks and performs like styrofoam.
We have 30 seconds. How do we know, like, where can we go to find, okay, I want to buy mushroom products? Because I would definitely...
Or will this overtake styrofoam? Will this overtake, other products, you think?
Yeah. I believe that we will be a dominant player in the food ecosystem. You can just make delicious farm-to-table organic whole-cut meat with this that people love. You can find that all along the Eastern Seaboard. You'll be able to find it in big retailers next week. And I think in leather and specialty materials, we're going to do the same thing. And if you look on our website, you can go to Target, pick up products packed in mushroom packaging and have that experience, or even grow it at home. Grow.bio, grow your own stuff at home.
All right, I'm
Get
going to look it up.
yourself.
Yeah, because this is phenomenal stuff.
Evan Bayer, thank you so much.
Phenomenal.
This is really cool. And I hope to see all the bad plastic material that we have completely used with this stuff. Being biodegradable, reusable, it's durable. That's great.
It looks good.
Growable.
You have no idea this stuff is made out of mushrooms.
You don't have to use like a chemical. You just grow it, wait 5 to 10 days, like you said, and
they
then boom,
grow
you're ready to
fast.
go.
Mushrooms grow really, really fast. And it's vertical farming, which I love vertical farming.
And like in Mario Brothers, if you eat the mushroom, you grow to be really tall too.
And you go really fast.
And you get really strong.
So let's talk about Antarctica. It had the record low sea ice last year, and that is forcing some emperor penguin colonies to actually search for more stable ice to breed on.
Yeah, so now scientists have found 4 previously unknown emperor penguin colonies, adding to the total number that are living there. It's a hopeful discovery given that their struggle to survive all this climate change.
So we're monitoring emperor penguins every year now to see how they're moving and how they're coping with climate change. And during that survey, looking for the movements of colonies, we managed to find these 4 new breeding sites, which have always existed, but we've never spotted them before. The importance of this is twofold. It does increase the population slightly, but also it shows us where the colonies are, because there are a discrete number of colonies around Antarctica. And as the penguins move to find new ice, they may start going to these new colonies. So we need to know where they're going to move to, because they rarely form brand new colonies. They usually move to pre-existing colonies. All of these colonies have been found in the last calendar year or so. Although we can go back in the archive and see that they have been there for some time. They're newly discovered, not new colonies. The Antarctic coastline is a very dynamic environment. The ice shelves and the glaciers carve or break off, and occasionally that means that the emperor penguin colonies have to move. And that stands them in good stead with climate change, really, because it means they aren't static. They won't just stay there, whatever. We think that the majority of them will try to find new ice, better ice, and more stable ice if the ice on which they're breeding becomes unsuitable. We do forecast changing sea ice conditions, ocean and atmospheric warming, which will impact the sea ice and make much of it unsuitable habitat for emperor penguins. So this is going to happen more often in the coming years, in the coming decades. As we monitor it, we're already seeing sea ice change quite dramatically around Antarctica over the last 5 or 6 years, which isn't good for emperor penguins. We can monitor it. We can't put the sea ice back. We can't build something for them. That's not the way that it works. So it's seeing how they adapt and changing our own behaviour, really, because it's not the emperor penguins that need to adapt and change. It's us that need to adapt and change.
Imagine if we didn't have good places to give birth. That's what I always think about, to try to relate to these penguins, because it seems like so far off. Oh, they'll figure it out. There'll be another place, but not necessarily. And I'm like, we are so lucky as humans that we have comfortable places to birth. Earth.
It's astonishing to me, too, about how some of these animals can live in the most wicked environments.
I know.
From the penguin to the snow leopard you were looking at the other day.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's just some of the terrain that they're in. It's just like, wow, that's their
And
home.
it's like the penguin, they're so little. I'm like, they need like a bigger coat. I mean, obviously their feathers are,
I know.
they're in
It
that
is
water
amazing.
like it's nothing. We'd be
It's amazing.
freezing.
Oh, yeah.
It's wild.
Crazy to see California on top of the map with all the clouds that they have going on right
Still-
now.
you
They're
still
still
get it.
producing. Welcome back, everybody, to Pattrn, your home for the latest news in climate change and sustainability. I'm Jordan Steele.
And I'm Steph Abrams. Let's get right into our hot topics. Your freezer is probably set to 0 degrees. Actually, I have no idea what my freezer is set on. Do you know what yours
Cold.
is? Cold, that's what it's set on.
All the way to the
But
left.
that nice round number could do more good, more harm than good, actually. A report
pretty
from
cold.
COP28 says globally, if we raise the temperatures that food is frozen at by 3 degrees, it would have the same effect as taking 4 million cars off the road. That
No
also
way.
means we could see
Wow.
huge changes by increasing the temperatures of frozen food during transport, at the grocery store, and ultimately our freezers at home. If we made this change, it would be a world energy savings equivalent to twice the yearly energy consumption of Kenya.
Those are big stat numbers
Yeah.
on being helpful, right? Just a couple of notches
3 degrees.
up. Now,
And-
here's the thing. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Unless, this might be controversial to you. I'm just going to say this right now. Unless it makes my ice cream not rock hard, because I like to chew my ice cream when I
What?
eat it. I need to bite it.
Really?
I don't like just
you don't like it soft?
I don't like soft serve.
Oh, I love soft serve.
I've got like the spoon's hard to get in there, and then I bite it, and I chew.
That is the weirdest.
Isn't that hilarious?
Yes. You know what I like to do and have done as a kid? Put it in a bowl, let it melt
Oh,
a
I
little.
used to do that too.
Sprinkles and kind of make
When
it
I was
into
a
a
kid.
soup. You
That's
know.
right. I used to
so
do that
I'm
too.
definitely on the soft serve. I have no idea what my freezer is set at. Now I'm going to go look. I don't feel like it's at 0, but do we really need it that cold?
Try raising it by 3 degrees.
I mean, can it just to be like
Yeah,
at least
just as long
14
as
or 15?
everything's frozen, right?
I'm gonna look.
All right, topic number 2. It's not a title most of us would want, but a yard in Australia has been named the world's ugliest lawn.
Can't wait to see this.
Her name's Kathleen Murray. She beat out 2 other ugly lawn owners from around the world for the title. Look at this yard. The global contest started 2 years ago as a way to highlight water conservation and change our perceptions of what a perfect lawn looks like. Kathleen's lawn has deep, dry divots, and not one drop of water was used on it at all. Now, you can make xeriscape lawns look pretty good, but this, I think, is stemming,
I think this is just
it's
all
a
natural.
headline. It's all
Yeah,
natural.
It's all natural. What's wrong
Sure,
with that?
Nothing.
Okay.
But if you wanted like a rock garden over here, like things that don't take water, you could still put a cactus over
Right.
here.
Yeah, you still
and it'd
could
be
do that.
natural, and it would still look good.
That also takes a lot of work.
I know.
Lifting all those rocks.
It's fun to
Jordan.
work in the yard. Get you outside. Now, the
on who you
prize
ask.
here for what she got was a pre-owned T-shirt.
Love
She was
this
wearing it
even
in the
more.
photo, and that same shirt will be passed on to next year's winner. And, if we're talking about saving the climate, probably don't wash it because we don't want to go through washing it.
Well, if
right?
you're
You
doing the
just
lawn work
reuse
in
it.
in the shirt,
Just keep
then
it as
maybe
is.
a little
No.
rinse will.
We can just share each other's.
All right, hot topic number
Perspiration.
3. A former Tesla exec is floating a new idea, smarter boats. The boat uses solar and electric power, the first of their kind. They're also made from aluminum, which is lighter and easier to recycle
That's right.
than composite and fiberglass traditionally used to build boats. The new smart boat sails into the port of Florida later this year. The company hopes to eventually build floating smart homes, which will be great.
Whoa. We went from floating smart boat to floating smart home. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Why not? I mean, a lot of people like to live on boats, and boat homes. Remember I was telling you about that comedian the other day, and I was watching a shtick from him, and he was saying, when you're in your 20s, you're all excited to go on these speedboats. He's like, now I'm in my 40s. And I'm sitting in the back, I'm like, oh, right. He's like, I want to be on a pontoon.
That's
He's like, I'm in the
right.
back, I'm like, oh, my back
so
hurts the
true.
next
You
day.
should have
Stuff's
cruised.
flying everywhere,
Right.
And that whole thing. So I just wonder if this will make for a smoother ride on a lighter boat because there's
Well,
not as much weight bouncing.
I'll tell you one thing, having an aluminum boat is just more forgiving because you can park it pretty much wherever you want. With a fiberglass, you have to worry about hitting a rock or hitting the side. If it's aluminum, I mean, this thing's metal, so.
Well, if it bends, then I can just take,
Yeah, it's just
pour some hot
knock it-
water on it
that's
and
exactly
pop
right.
it back
Pop it
out.
back
You're
out.
easy. All right, there's been a lot of buzz surrounding artificial intelligence. Now the technology is coming to the rescue of bees. We are talking to the beekeeper changing the future for these vital insects. That's coming up next.
AI to the rescue. And researchers hope that this coral reef can show them how to help others thrive even when conditions are less than perfect. This is all coming up on Pattrn as we talk about the bees and we go underwater.
You know how they say nature mimics like our bodies, like trees are lungs and that's how we breathe. Well, those coral reefs look like brains to me.
Ooh, so they're smart, they're intelligent.
Yeah.
They're telling us something. We need to learn, we need to listen to the wisdom they're passing down.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.